Blake Lively, amazing or apocalyptic? So I gotta look up that writer and see what they think about that now. I'm sure they'll still think it was apocalyptic. Hello Vogue, I'm Blake Lively and this is my life and looks. Here we go. Aha. Okay, so this is Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. This is my first job. I was 16 years old here. I played a soccer player. The shoes are questionable. They're really, I don't know why I didn't keep this. I'm in a habit of trying to keep a piece of my wardrobe, and these shoes, wow, they are very 2004. But this was such a special experience because I met 3 of my best friends who remain my best friends. I was so lucky on my first job to meet women who were just so dynamic and powerful and vulnerable and distinctly themselves. I just had like such great role models to look up to. A key part of the story is that each of the women are so different than one another and each have such distinct style and personalities. So to really see how much fashion could define a character or differentiate a character, it really, I think, imprinted on me young. So this is a neat image to look at for that reason. This was my first red carpet ever, or orange carpet rather. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants was about to come out. I was still in high school, and I remember this was April 2nd, 2005, and I remember that date because I was at a photo shoot for Sisterhood and my sister was about to give birth, and they said, you need to go do this red carpet. So I think 2 of us got invited and 2 of us were not allowed in because we weren't, I don't know, we weren't a big enough deal to make the guest list. They probably regret that now. I bet I'm gonna make it the guest list this year. The teal thing is a t-shirt that my mom found at Forever 21, or I found, I don't know. My mom is so kooky and amazing with fashion. Like she'll find a dress and like cut off the top and wear it as a skirt, and like if she runs out of lipstick, she'll like lick the end of an Advil and rub it on her lips to like give her lips and cheeks. I mean, it's like, I've seen her use dark chocolate as eyeshadow before. And then this little over thing, which felt so cute, my low-rise Abercrombie jeans and Aldo heels. And I had this like fluffy flower brooch that went on the belt buckle, which covered my like Hot Topic belt buckle. And it gave it like a little bit of like a feminine like je ne sais quoi. And then the flower came off. Still to this day, I don't see how horrifying this look is. I see that like, ugh, if the flower would have been there, this look would have been aces. Gossip Girl, this dress. I mean, I think this dress was one of the most critical sort of fashion moments of Gossip Girl. This was a Ralph Lauren dress. This was just like such a beautiful look, those little cropped black gloves. And I ended up wearing Ralph Lauren to the Met. That was my first year that I was invited to a Met Gala. And I think they only invited me because of this dress. And I even wore croc gloves there because it was like such a sweet look. But that show, Eric Damon, our costume designer, was just so spectacular and inventive. And he really took that idea to the next level of like characters really having a look. Like they were almost like caricatures of themselves. They had such distinct look and fashion. And I just find that so inspiring. To this day, I bring that with me to every character. The impact of the fashion on that show was greater than anything else, greater than the storytelling, greater than the characters, and it definitely changed my life. Vogue, my God. I mean, this was so surreal. It's still surreal to me. I was, I think, 21 years old. Gossip Girl had been around for maybe a year, and I was asked to be on the cover of Vogue, which was and is still just, I mean, leaves me speechless. I love how classic and old-timey the look was. I look at my life now and things that I'm inspired by now, and I think that this was another one of those things that really shaped me, like this sort of iconic Veronica Lake style hairdo. It was smart, you know, Anna putting the 21-year-old girl in a CW teen soap on the cover of Vogue to make this shoot more timeless. I Googled this photo today because I was trying to remember what year this was taken. And the headline said, Blake Lively, amazing or apocalyptic? I gotta look up that writer and see what they think about that now. I'm sure they'll still think it was apocalyptic. Next. Well, this is Saturday Night Live. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I mean, how cool is that? So I get to host Saturday Night Live, which is just, you know, still, I can't believe to this day that I was able to host Saturday Night Live. I don't work with a stylist, I never have. The stylist, I believe his name is Tom there. He does the costume designs for Saturday Night Live. I went to him like the night before and I said, oh, so what do I wear for the monologue? And he was like, oh, we don't do that. We do all the character pieces. And I said, well, I don't know what to, I was styling myself, but I wasn't calling in looks at the time. I would just sort of go in the closet of whatever we had at Gossip Girl and borrow. So he pulled a dress from Topshop the day before. This is just a, you know, sweet Topshop dress. And yeah, I'm wearing these beautiful earrings, and I got to host Saturday Night Live next. So this was my second Vogue cover. Amazing or apocalyptic? I don't know. Amazing. This is Rob Machado back there, who's one of the greatest surfers alive ever. So he took me out on a longboard and he would paddle, paddle, paddle. And I was just like, it was the best. I just like sat on the board, and every single time he would stand up and he said, my goal is, if I do my job right, you won't get wet at all. Okay, so this night, we were shooting Gossip Girl in Paris. This was the night that I met Karl Lagerfeld for the first time. I told Anna Wintour that I was a big fan of his and that I would love to work with Chanel one day. And she was like, what? Let's go to dinner. Come to dinner with us. So she invited me out to dinner with her and Karl. I wanted to wear something for Karl that felt, I don't know, different, or like it had a perspective or take. So I asked to wear a men's blazer, and they were like, I don't know about that. And now you see it and you're like, well, obviously, like that was a thing. But at the time, this was like I was very scared to leave the house in like an oversized men's blazer with these short shorts. And the sequins were like little turquoise paillettes. It was amazing. And I had a vintage Chanel purse that I had found at like some thrift store in New Orleans. He was so great, and he was like, let's go get eclairs. So he took me out to Café de Flore, and we got eclairs. We rode around Paris in like a convertible Bentley. This sounds so surreal. And I thought, well, Karl, he's gonna be noticed, but I guess you don't mind. But you're sitting in like this, it was like white or silver. It matched his outfit in some way. It was like Disney Cinderella's movies don't capture what I felt on that night. Sweet Karl. Okay, next. Okay, so this is the Savages premiere. This is a Zahara Murad dress, beautiful vintage jewelry that Lorraine Short sent to me. I don't know, a year or two later, they made a Barbie with this dress. They changed the hair a little, but I was like, I made it onto a Barbie, look, Mom. And they were like, no, that's not you. I was like, wait, no, but it is. Like, it's the same dress, it's the same. They're like, no, you're mistaken. This is Cannes. This is my first time at Cannes. This is a beautiful custom Gucci dress. So this dress was made for the Met. So 2 weeks before, 1 or 2 weeks before, was the Met, the Charles James exhibit. It was the first time my husband and I did a red carpet together, but I was meant to wear that dress that I wore to the Met here to Cannes, and I was meant to wear this for the Charles James. But a couple nights before, I thought, well, there may be other people wearing something similar, so let me flip-flop them. The jewels on this, on the front side of this, these diamonds, they were insane. I just love this because I love jewelry. I think it's such an important part of fashion and styling, but this was one where it was just like simplicity. I mean, it's easy to say simplicity when you're dripping in like, I don't know, 500 carats of diamonds, but it was just so chic. I just like, this is still one of my favorite looks of all time to this day. So this is the Angel Ball. I'm wearing another beautiful Gucci dress here. When Gucci sent this dress, they still didn't know I was pregnant. But I said, oh, this look cute, because they look kind of stretchy, so I thought I may be able to squeeze into it. But this was a charity event that I went to for Lorraine Schwartz. It's a great event that raises money for cancer. People suspected I was pregnant, but this was like the moment. This was sort of, I guess, my pregnancy coming out. That was a fun night. This is The Age of Adeline. Those are my own pants I'm wearing. You'll see I show up with my own wardrobe a lot. But that was a movie that was such an amazing experience. I got to work with Angus Strathy, who was the costume designer for Moulin Rouge. And that's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I was sufficiently geeked out to be working with him. And my character is born in 1900, and it spans until current times. There was just the most incredible hair and makeup, costume design. Anne Carroll was the hairstylist. She used my own hair for the front of everything. She would roll up my own hair under it and style my hair in the front to sort of look like this more like 1950s look. So that was just such a great tour through fashion and beauty. And then on this movie, I secretly got pregnant. We found out while I was shooting this movie. It's especially meaningful to me, this film and this experience. Cannes again. I do have a life between Cannes and pregnancies. I just want to make that clear, that my life in looks, there were many years that happened between this. Nobody had seen me since I was filming The Shallows, and I was, you know, in a bathing suit in that. And then nobody saw me for, I think it was like 5 months later. I went to Cannes, and the first few looks that I wore at Cannes, you can't tell that I'm pregnant, because I am very private and I'm very protective of my children, and I don't want to share them with the world, and I feel like that starts when they're in the womb. So I just thought, I'm just gonna dress like I'm not pregnant. I'm just gonna wear what I would wear if I wasn't pregnant. It was sort of a neat press tour, because I remember I would like show up one day and they'd be like, she's pregnant, and then the next day you'd see another dress and they're like, oh shoot, maybe she's not, maybe we misspoke. Which I also think was an interesting conversation, because like, why do we obsess over women's bodies and like what's going on? Like, if I want to say I'm pregnant, I'll say I'm pregnant. Otherwise, like, it's just me showing up on a red carpet. Like, our bodies are ever changing and ever evolving, and like, you know, that doesn't belong to anyone else. So here is A Simple Favor. The fun part about A Simple Favor is because I was so inspired by Paul Feig's looks. I mean, he was my muse, even though he was the director. I sat down with him and I thought we were gonna talk about the character in one of our first meetings. And he said, what do you want her to look like? What do you want her fashion to be? And that really caught me off guard, because I was used to going to directors and saying, okay, this is what I think the fashion should be. This is where I think we should go with the style. And it was something that was like the last on their mind. So when he asked me so ahead of time, I honestly didn't know what to say, and I was blown away. We had the most incredible costume designer, Renee Kalfas, and she was someone who, like, you know, Paul and I talked about that idea, and then she took it and just like ran with it. She sourced the most amazing suits, and we had the best time together. If I could work with her on everything, I would. She was just, oh, she's somebody who like makes anything feel possible. But anyway, I would show up on set some days and Paul and I would be like Mary-Kate and Ashley, would be like full twinning in the exact same outfit. It was like a permanent who wore it better each day with Paul Feig. This is without a doubt my favorite look of all time. This is the Met Gala 2018 Versace dress. I get very involved in the design of the dresses. I don't know if it's just that I'm a Virgo or that I need a life. This one was actually a dress that they had made, but it had a train that was like this, like it was a shorter train. So we took this dress and said, okay, what if, I said, can you guys add like 8 feet of train? Can you add beading on the inside? This had ruching in the middle, which kind of looked like it was too tight and like pulling at the hips. So I was like, we need to pick up that pattern here as well, so that it looks like a part of the dress. And this was just a headpiece that Lorraine made with these brown diamonds and brass. It wasn't even gold, it was brass, because we were just like making, it was like bendable, like hardware store brass. These earrings she made like the night before. She took these giant emeralds and stuck it on one of her sister Ophira's like shield gold earrings, and she stuck an emerald on top. So it was very like makeshift. Christian Louboutin made the most beautiful shoes. I just love this look so much. I just thought it was just so striking. It's something that when my kids are like, you know, giving me attitude, I'm like, this is your mom, like, come on. I'd like try to tell them that I'm real life royalty and that they're lucky that I'm raising them. They don't buy it, they don't believe it. This was such a special night, and I'm matching the carpet, and this has become a thing. I did an Instagram post where I said, when the carpet matches the Blakes instead of the drapes. But it's just been a crazy thing every year where I match the carpet. This year I'm actually hosting, and I went to Anna beforehand and I said, Anna, there's a lot of pressure. I really need to match the carpet this year because we've set a precedent. But somehow, I don't know, I just intuit, whoever this carpet designer and I am, we're soulmates because we intuit the same thing. There was a Versace look I wore with gold and blue feathers matching the carpet. But yeah, always matching the carpet. Not this year though. Oh, I feel like I hadn't been on a red carpet in a while. Look at my cute little Pikachu nails by Elle Gerstein. She did these little like Pokemon balls on my nails. I was pregnant and I couldn't hide it any longer. My husband was doing a premiere for his movie, so we thought, well, instead of letting some paparazzi walking down the street get a photo, I'll just show up looking like, you know, a giant yellow ball. And then my husband in this cute denim vest. How sweet is that? Okay, so this is my first ad for my company, Betty Buzz. They were made to be mixers, so my husband is, you know, a gin slinger. So when I went to do my first ad for Betty Buzz, I went in his closet and I was like, this would sort of be great if I just like took his clothes, because you drive around New York City and there are trucks with his face on it, with his aviation bottle. But I thought, like, how fun would that be to sort of like surprise him with a truck with my face on it. So I went in his closet and like put on his favorite coat. This is like a Rick Owens jacket, and his jeans and t-shirt, like same chair, same spot. And so anyway, and that was like the first Betty Buzz ad. And people saw that ad and it went over very well, but what people don't know is that I'm actually wearing his clothing in it. So you guys gotta find a picture of him in this exact same coat. So this is the Adam Project premiere. I just wanted to look like My Little Pony. Like, I just wanted my kids to like think I'm fabulous. And you know, Versace sure enough had this. But I wanted it to skew a bit more, I don't know, 60s, 70s feeling. So with the hair and like the wooden jewels, like I just wanted it to feel like slightly like more bohemian. And I couldn't decide between these insane yellow diamonds and these lavender jade circles, which is what I thought I would wear. I was like, oh, why don't I wear both? So I ended up layering the two. I always like to do strange things with the styling. This was the Gem Awards, which is why, if you look closely right here, you'll see I have like a giant, I don't know, it's like the heart of the ocean, sewn onto my dress, this yellow diamond. And Lorraine made these earrings that morning because I was like, I want to do yellow diamonds with black jackets. She had this great idea to mix it with nude diamonds as well and do different like shapes around it. And I said, can just have a spare yellow diamond you can just give to me, just to borrow and to sew onto the dress. So I am in that car with a needle and thread, and I am sewing this yellow diamond onto my dress, just praying that this thing doesn't come up. And then literally like leaving the event, they're like, well, you need to give it back to us. I was like, it's sewn to the dress. They were like, here's a knife. Like sitting there, cutting this diamond off. This is a beautiful Sergio Hudson dress. I, saw his beautiful designs for the first time at the inauguration, and his taste and his design is so impeccable because it's classic, yet it still feels inspired. Sergio at me. I don't even know what that means. I just feel like that's something the kids are saying these days. What an honor to get to host and to wear this dress. Versace turned it out. But rather than looking at fashion from the Gilded Age, I wanted to look at architecture. New York has been such a critical part of who I am. It's the place I choose to live. It's the love of my life other than my family. So I thought, well, I would love to arrive in a copper dress and have that dress patina as I ascend the carpet and turns verdigris, which is, oxidized copper. A Statue of Liberty obviously showed up as a shiny copper like a penny, and now it's the green that we have. So instead of me performing, I wanted sort of the dress to perform. I think Versace thought I was crazy when I called them and pitched this. This column of the dress, the lines in it are an homage to the Empire State Building. The draping on the side is sort of a tip of the hat to the Statue of Liberty. And this is the constellation ceiling of Grand Central Station. Grand Central felt like a sort of a really neat full circle moment because the first shot of Gossip Girl, I'm on a train and I pull into the station and it's a shot of Grand Central Station. So that's it. That's my life and looks. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to, in a few decades from now, do some geriatric fashion with you guys, really round out this life and looks. And I think I get to sign this thing. So who am I signing it to? My mom? Can we give this to my mom? Thank her for all she did to get me here? Mom, this one's for you. Thanks.